Graham Lloyd is the environment editor of the Australian newspaper. Always good to check in with him when it comes to straight up facts about the reality of what we now face. And 43% emission target apparently to be legislated, but we know that the Tiffany Teals will try to push it higher and the Greens even higher than that. He joins us now to have a chat about it. So, mate, how do they get to 43% when they've already told us that the safeguard mechanism isn't a price disincentive, i.e. a carbon tax, and they're going to have a parliament where they're not going to be able to pass it unless it's a higher number?
Yeah, hi, Paul. Well, this is the thing. You raised at the beginning of the show, part of the deal of winning government is you actually have to do what you said you were going to do. And so if you have a look at what the policies actually are in terms of climate change, they want 82% of electricity to come from renewables by 2030. And despite what people have said, they do have a cap and trade system for big industry to limit their emissions and trade permits if they're not able to do so. And this is in full cooperation with the Business Council of Australia. So they want to do it. But of course, that's not enough for everybody. The Greens have thrown up the flag and said, well, the first thing is we'll have to ban all coal and future gas mines. And the Teals have got a limit that's way higher than what Labor's proposing. So they've put forward really what could be seen as a Herculean task, but it's not going to be an easy passage, and it could in fact be a repeat of what's happened before, and that's generally end in tears.
Well, but also, can you just tell, again, you just told us about that mark for renewable energy by 2030, which, as we know, is just 8 short years away. Well, right now, according to the National Energy Market, 83% of New South Wales power today came from fossil fuels. 93% of Queensland power came today from fossil fuels. Now, what I love again about the Tiffany Teals is that if any of them decided to turn their local cricket oval into a wind farm or a solar farm, then I would believe that they were fair income about it. Instead, they expect that everyone outside of the metropolitan area has to make these changes because to them, the suburbs and the regions are just places for Airbnbs.
Yeah, well, there's two things there, Paul. I've spent a lot of time out in regional Australia where these wind projects have been introduced. And it was pretty cowboy country at the start, without any doubt. And a lot of people were very upset about the experience of the whole thing. The industry is really going to have to put on a better performance if it wants to expand to the extent that it says it does. But even still, it doesn't deal with this issue that when the wind isn't blowing or the sun isn't shining, the power's got to come from somewhere. So you can have the big targets, but really that question hasn't been properly answered. And the experience elsewhere in the world, in UK and other places, is that the public gets pretty sick pretty quickly when the power fades and the prices go up.
Well, and not to mention as well, supply chain issues out of China right now. Now, of course, China has, in their industrial parts, basically been turned off for a couple of months as a result of COVID this time, let alone the stuff that was happening 12 months ago and 2 years ago. And the renewable energy sector is already saying that they're going to have some problems getting the wind farms, getting the solar panels, because, of course, they need the Uyghurs to make them in concentration camps.
This is the issue that really will become apparent. The vast volume of materials, whether it be nickel, whether it be cobalt, whether it be other things that is required for a renewable revolution on a global scale, they simply don't exist at the moment. And as everybody competes for them, the price for those are going to go up. And as you've pointed out, a lot of this stuff is made in China. And the supply problems are a real thing now. And it's only probably going to get worse into the future.
Now, of course, just for those that are half watching and getting ready to write their formal complaint to the authority, of course, not every solar panel is made by Uyghurs, but geez, a lot of them are coming out of that part of China. Graham, nice to talk to you, mate. Fun times ahead. Certainly, I think all roads in Australia are eventually going to end up leading to nuclear, but we'll wait and see who's got the balls to put that on the table. Nice to talk to you.